Alrighty, thank you everybody for joining us today for our Power Core Stability seated workout. We're gonna go ahead and find our seats. I'm gonna grab my water to keep it nice and close to me as I'll probably need it throughout the workout. We're gonna start by keeping our feet flat on the floor, hands in a nice rested position. We're gonna be taking some deep breaths. My hands are just gonna rest together in my lap. I'm gonna focus on taking some deep breaths in through my nose and out through my mouth. As we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and start our music so we have some things going on in the background. Taking some nice deep breaths here. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Taking this time to feel how your body is feeling today. If you're gonna need to modify anything, taking breaks, getting some water. As we're taking our deep breaths, we really want to sit nice and tall. Shoulders are back, belly button is towards our spine. Sitting nice and tall. I know deep breaths and DJ music don't match very well, but we're getting ready for core stability. We're gonna go ahead and bring our arms into it. You can bring your arms up towards the sky, palms facing forward, fingertips outstretched. And exhale, bringing your arms down to your sides. We're gonna go ahead and inhale again, bringing our hands up towards the sky, palms facing forward, fingertips outstretched. Exhale, arms go down. We're gonna do a couple of those, 2 more. Deep breath in, hand goes up. And exhale, hands go down. Taking a nice pause at the top, inhale. And exhale. We're gonna bring it down into our legs. We're gonna have our feet flat on the floor. I'm gonna sit a little bit closer to the chair, or edge of the chair here. We're gonna do some heel lifts. Bring all the way up to our tippy toes. We're gonna go ahead and do some calf raises and heel lifts. Just bringing our heels either slightly off the ground or as high as we can, stretching out the backs of our calves. Calves go up in the air, heels going up. You can do these alternately. You can do these quick, you can do them slow, however you're feeling. I'm doing them a little bit faster, kind of increasing my heart rate a little bit here. Bringing our hands involved, we're gonna go ahead and put our feet flat on the ground, bringing our hands up. Our elbows are out at our shoulder height, fingertips up in the air. We're gonna slightly bring our elbows downward in our W's for our YTWs. We're gonna go ahead and do some shoulder squeezes here. So as my palms are facing forward, fingers outstretched, I have a nice little W, a little bend in my elbows here, outside of my body. We're gonna just kind of squeeze our shoulders. Our hands are gonna go slightly back. You're gonna notice that as you squeeze, your arms are gonna wanna pull backwards a little bit. You're doing about an inch of a movement here. Just feeling it in your scaps and your shoulder blades. Feeling that nice stretch in your chest, a little flexion in your back. Making sure to breathe through it here. And shaking it out. Bringing our neck involved, we're gonna go ahead and stretch our neck to our right. Bringing our right ear down to our right shoulder. I'm using my hand to hold the top of my head, pulling it a little bit deeper into that stretch, but I'm not pulling too tight to where it hurts, just where it feels comfortable and I'm feeling the stretch. I'll hold it here for a few seconds before I switch to the left. Bringing my left ear to my left shoulder. Using my hand to help guide my head down. And switching ever so often. Couple more on each side before we bring it into some neck rolls. Bringing our chin down towards our chest. I'm gonna bring my left ear to left shoulder, keeping my chin down the whole time, wanting to really feel that stretch on the right side of my neck. As I roll to the right, bring my chest back to my chin to the center of my chest, feeling it on the back side of my neck, and bring my right ear to right shoulder. We're doing half shoulder rolls here, or neck rolls. Bringing our chin down to the center and to the left. Just rocking back and forth, rolling left and right. Feeling that stretch through the backs of our necks, the sides of our necks. Nice job, everybody. Sitting nice and tall, we're gonna bring it into some seated cat-cows. Feet flat on the floor, knees bent. We're gonna have our hands rested on our knees. We're gonna start with a cat. As we inhale, we're gonna arch our back, bringing our spine towards the back of our seat. So you wanna sit a little bit closer to the edge so your back doesn't touch your seat. Arching our back, our shoulders are gonna go a little bit forward, feeling the roundness in our back, in our spine. As we inhale, our chest is going to go forward, pushing through our shoulders, and our belly button is going to go forward. We're going to alternate between cat and cow at your own pace. Inhale, our spine goes in, goes back towards the chair, feeling that stretch through my shoulder blades, the backs of my spine. Exhaling, bring my chest forward. A couple more here. Taking these at your own pace. Every inhale and exhale, you're changing. Arms staying nice and locked on your legs here. This motion really is through your back. 2 more. And shaking it out. Bringing it into some shoulder rolls, I'm gonna keep my hands rested on my legs. You can have them hanging down at your sides. Bringing our shoulders up towards our ears, rolling them forward, down, and back. Doing some small shoulder rolls or large, however you would like to do it for your body. I'm taking some nice deep shoulder circles here. Going forward to start. And as you are ready, going ahead and transferring into backwards shoulder rolls, bringing your shoulders up towards your ears, bringing them back behind you, dropping them low, and bringing them forward. Nice back shoulder rolls here. Again, I'm taking these nice and simple and slow, really just feeling all the spots that need to be stretched along the way. As we're finishing up our warm-up here, as a reminder, it is your workout. Do what is best for you along the way, taking breaks as you need, getting water as you need, modifying as you need, but challenging yourself as you can. I'm gonna go ahead and get a sip of water before we start our first flow for core stabilization. Starting with our seated pelvic tilts, I'm gonna go ahead and sit nice and tall. When I am doing this, my hands are going to be on my hips because I like to feel my pelvis as it tilts forward and back to really emphasize that feeling. My hips are rested on the tops of my hips. I'm going to go ahead and roll them forward. As I'm rolling my hips forward, I'm kind of pushing with my thumbs on my lower back, feeling my pelvis tilt forward. My hips are pushing forward and my chest might lean a little bit forward as I do that. As I am tilting back, I'm gonna push my pelvis out and I'm gonna kind of rock back. So we're pushing forward and back. Kind of a little cat-cow, but sitting nice and tall. Rotating our pelvis forward and back. It stretches out our hips a little bit, stretches out our lower lumbar spine. Making sure to breathe through it as we are rotating forwards and back at your own pace. We really want to involve our core in here, so keep your core engaged as you are sitting nice and tall. You can never do enough of these, so we'll do a couple more. Same movement as that cat-cow, but just in your hips. Couple more here. Shaking it out, we'll go ahead and go into a single leg stretch. We're gonna go ahead and bring our right knee up towards our chest. My left leg is gonna remain on the ground for stability. As I bring my right leg up towards my chest, I am going to interlace my fingers around my knee or my shin, or you can hug it to your chest as well. We're really stretching out our glutes here. Sitting nice and tall, engage that core. Holding it here. I'm gonna add a couple ankle circles as I am hugging my leg to my chest. Our body is all connected, so we want to make sure that we're stretching out all the right parts. And releasing. Going ahead and grabbing our left leg, bringing it towards our chest. Our right leg is going to remain on the ground for balance and support. I'm hugging my leg as high as I can get it towards my chest. Again, trying to remain nice and tall and seated. You may find yourself rocking back a little bit as your body's trying to help you remain balanced. Doing some ankle circles with my left leg as it is up in the air, taking that time to do that. Couple more ankle circles here, really focusing on stretching out that leg. As I'm bringing it back down, we're going to go into some knee lifts or high knees. I'm going to take these nice and slow. You can do these quickly if you would like. One at a time, we're going to bring our right knee up to the sky before we lower it, bringing our left knee up to the sky. My leg is remaining bent the whole time in a high knee. You can try to get these as high as you would like, or stopping where your hips are too tight to continue. Again, taking these nice and slow or fast. You can bring your arms involved, marching along with you, forward and back, or you can hold onto your chair, or just rest your hands on your thighs. I'll be holding onto my chair for added support, sitting nice and tall, engaging my core. Doing these seated or standing is very good for your core. So keeping that core engaged, feet flexed the whole time. I'm gonna be doing these for a minute here. Really helping out our core, keeping our body nice and balanced, as it is very good at that. Nice job, everybody. Keeping it up here. All right, shaking our legs out here. We're gonna go ahead and take a nice little break before we go into our knee lifts. We're gonna do both of them at the same time. You'll notice that you'll kind of rock back a little bit as you do that. You can have your hands on your chair for support. Bring both of our knees up towards our chest. If you need to sit a little bit further back in your chair, make sure you're adjusting as you need. These ones I'm a little bit slower at. My knees don't come as high as singles, and that's okay. Just sitting nice and tall, engaging our core, bringing both of our knees up towards our chest. Nice work, everyone. Keep that spine nice and long, belly button tucked in towards your spine. Nice work, everyone. All right, giving our legs a break here. We'll go ahead and shake them out, and we'll go into some core twists. You can have your hands outstretched in a T position, arms outstretched at shoulder height, fingertips pointed out, and move side to side. Or you can have them, your hands kind of on each other's forearms, up at shoulder height in front of you, kind of holding your arms. We're gonna go ahead and slowly twist left to right. So keeping our hands either outstretched or out in front of you, we're gonna go ahead and rotate just our upper body from right to left. Very slow and controlled here for our core twists. Make sure to breathe through this exercise. Our legs are going to remain facing forward. a nice twist in our spine. Engage that core. Your core is what's helping you twist here and pulling you back the other direction. So don't let your arms do that, let your core do that. Nice work, everyone. Getting those core twists in, feeling it through our spine. Remembering to take breaks as needed, shaking out our arms if they get tired. Couple more here. Nice work. We're gonna go ahead and hold our posture. So sitting nice and tall, we're just gonna go ahead and take a few more breaths. My palms are gonna be outstretched down at my sides, palms facing forward, fingers outstretched. I just want to make sure I'm sitting nice and tall, really engaging that core, sitting as tall as I can, holding that before I release. Sitting nice and tall into that posture position, facing forward, head is straight, shoulders are stretched back, spine is tall, and relax. Before we go back into it, hold it for a few breaths, and relax. You'll notice your core is nice and tight when you are in that tall seated position. And relaxing in between. Great job, everyone. Sitting nice and tall, keeping our posture held. We're gonna go ahead and push forward and back, or push and pull. So my hands are resting at chest height here. I'm gonna go ahead and outstretch my arms, palms facing forward at shoulder height, pushing all the air away from me before I grab the air and I pull it right back, bringing my fists towards my chest. Pushing with palms facing forward, shoulder height, fingertips outstretched up towards the ceiling, grab the air in gentle fists and pull it back. Do these at your pace, taking turns pushing the air forward and pulling it back. I'm doing these nice and slow. Again, just focusing on sitting nice and tall, holding that posture. Pushing and pulling. Nice job, everyone. Two more here. Push and pull and push and pull. Going into some overhead reaching, we're gonna go ahead and bring our hands up overstretched, fingertips up towards the sky, reaching as high as we can before we lower our arms. And we're just gonna take turns reaching up towards the sky, pulling that air back down, resting and reaching back up towards the sky. Really elongating our core here. You can feel the stretch through the front of your belly. Nice overhead reach, bringing it back down and resting. Overhead reach, arms go up, fingertips outstretched, bringing it down. We'll do two more. Reaching our hands up towards the sky as high as we can, really feeling that stretch through our bellies, bringing it down. One more, hands go up, stretch, and pull down. I'm gonna shake out my arms before we get into the upper body flow. If you need to grab a sip of water, now is a great time to do that. I will be doing it as well. We'll be going ahead and starting with our seated overhead arm raises. My palms are gonna face down behind me. My hands are dangling down at my sides, palms are facing backwards, fingertips outstretched. My right hand is gonna go, you can do these alternately or together. If you're doing them together, both hands are gonna go up, or bringing them up towards our head. So bringing our fingertips, keeping them outstretched, keep raising them. Now we're at shoulder height, hands are still up, out in front of us, palms are facing down. We're gonna keep going. Bring our hands up all the way overhead. So now my fingertips are up towards the ceiling, my wrists are stacked over my shoulders, palms are facing forward. Before I lower them, bringing them all the way down. Now I'm in that rested position down at my sides, we're just gonna do our arm raises. You can alternate these here, doing one arm at a time. I will be doing these together. Taking them nice and slow again. So these are nice and tall, shoulders back, head facing forward, core is engaged, tucking that belly button in towards your spine. If you need a little bit of a challenge, going ahead and grabbing a light weight. I'm doing these body weight here. Couple more here. Nice job, everybody. Hands go up, hands go down. Nice, slow and controlled, relying on that core. Next up is going to be bicep curls. Again, you can do these together or you can do these alternately. We're going to be sitting nice and tall. I will have doing these together. My hands are in gentle fists. This time, instead of my palms facing behind me, they're facing forward, but my hands are in fists. And I will be flexing my biceps. So my hands in gentle fists, bending at the elbow, bringing my fists up towards my shoulders, really just focusing on squeezing in the biceps before I lower my hands back down towards my sides. Again, sitting nice and tall here. You can have a slight bend, hip hinge, bending a little bit forward, but we're just flexing our biceps and releasing for our bicep curls. I'll be doing these together. Again, do these alternately if you need. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, going ahead and grabbing a light weight. Really engaging our core as well. Nice work, everybody. Keeping those biceps nice and strong. Nice job. A couple more here. And in 3, 2, and 1. Shaking out our arms, we're going to go ahead and do toe tap core reach. We're going to go ahead and either alternately or both legs at the same time. We're going to toe tap. So with our lower body, we're going to bring both of our toes out, extending our legs forward, toe tapping on the ground. As we're doing this, our upper body is going to be doing a push. As my legs come back in, so are my arms doing a pull. So legs go out, toes on the floor, pushing at the same time, going ahead and pulling back in as my legs come in. And we'll keep doing these together, or you can do right leg and right arm, left arm and left leg, however you need, but toe tap forward, pushing and pulling. Keeping our core engaged as we are doing this. You'll feel it in your upper abs here if you are slightly leaning back. Keep it up here, you're doing great. Nice job, everybody. Couple more here. Toe tap forward, pushing out and pulling back in. Nice job, keeping it up. Couple more here. Really engaging that core and resting. Nice work, everybody. We'll go ahead and do a chest opener. I'm gonna sit towards the edge of my chair here, interlacing my fingers behind my back. When I'm doing this, I'm kind of holding it down towards the chair, and I'm gonna puff my chest forward, pulling my hands back, and my shoulders are also gonna go back. Taking nice deep breaths, feeling that stretch through my upper chest here. Feet flat on the floor, just taking a few breaths through this stretch. Nice deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, belly button tucked in. And exhaling. On your next exhale, releasing all that tension in your arms, bringing it out to your sides. We'll be doing our Ys and Ts from our YTWs. Bringing our hands up overhead, wrists in line with shoulder, fingertips outstretched. We're gonna go ahead and widen our arms ever so slightly, making a big Y with our arms. So not quite a T, but we're staying in our Y. And we're gonna go ahead and squeeze our shoulders, slightly bringing our hands back, and then we can transfer into our T. Our T is our arms outstretched at shoulder height, bringing our fingertips to our left and right, and we're gonna go ahead and flex, bringing our shoulders back. You can transfer back and forth between our Ys, flexing and bringing our arms into T, or you can do a couple Ts for a little bit and then do your Ys, but we're gonna be going from Ys and Ts. Again, like our W's, we're just flexing ever so slightly, bringing our shoulders back towards our chest, or shoulders backwards. This movement is just about an inch, so nice little pulses here. As your arms are getting tired, make sure to take breaks and shake them out at your sides. Again, sitting nice and tall, we are wanting to engage that core the whole time, helping support here. Nice work, everybody. Nice little arm burn as well. I'm doing about 4 pulses of each at a time. Switching between the two. Couple more here. Nice work. Shaking out our hands at our sides. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a sip of water before we go into our third flow. Flow number 3 is gonna be for our lower abs and lower body. We'll be starting with leg lifts. One at a time, we're gonna keep our legs straight and lifting them off the ground. So I'm gonna keep both of my legs kind of extended out in front of me, feet still flat on the floor. I'm gonna raise my right leg, trying to get it up to hip height. You can have a slight bend in your knee, but trying to keep our leg as straight as possible before I lower it back to the ground. Then I'll be lifting my left leg, bring my left leg up towards the sky. Again, we're flexing our feet, so we want our toes to be pointed up towards the sky. I'm holding on to my chair for support here. You're more than welcome to challenge yourself in keeping your hands down at your sides or resting on top of your legs, or just alternating straight leg raises here. Really sitting nice and tall here, pulling your belly button in towards your spine. We'll definitely be feeling this one tomorrow. Nice job, everybody. Couple more here. If your leg is only coming up an inch off the ground, that is totally okay. Getting as high as we can. Nice work, everybody. Keeping it up here. Couple more. If you're looking for more of a challenge, go ahead and do both of them together at this point, bringing both of our legs up at the sky. You'll notice that you're gonna rock back a little bit. That's your body again, just helping you keep balance. You'll be feeling that really engaging your core, holding onto your chair for support if your hands can go on the side of your chair. And if 2 at a time is too difficult or not good for your body, make sure you're just still doing alternate leg raises here. Really engage that core. Nice work, everybody. Make sure you're taking breaks as you need. Feeling it in our hip flexors. We're feeling it in our core. You guys are strong. I know you can keep up. Keep doing it. And rest. Nice job, everybody. Shaking out our legs as we did a lot of crunches there. We're gonna go ahead and do some calf scoops. We're gonna extend one leg. We're gonna do our right leg first, and we're gonna bring both of our hands on either side of our leg, on the outside and the inside, and we're gonna bend our body forward as we have a scooping motion with our arms, kind of running our hands down our leg towards our ankles and lifting our hands back up. Sitting nice and tall, Bring our hands again down towards the floor on either side of our leg, scooping forward and sitting up. I have my right leg straight out, so I am kind of scooping along my right leg, feeling that along the right side or the back side of my leg. Hands on either side, leg is straight, scooping down towards my ankle, sitting nice and tall. Your hands can go up in the sky as high as you want, or they can stop at your hips. Just really stretching out the back side of our leg here. This is more of a stretch than it is a workout, so just take that in, keep that in mind. Nice job, everybody. Bringing our right leg back, we're going to extend our left leg straight out in front of us, toe up towards the ceiling. Bringing our hands on either side. My left hand is on the outside of my left leg, my right hand is on the inside. Kind of tracing my leg, bringing my hands down towards my ankles and up into the air. Then bringing my hands on either side, really bending forward, sinking deep into that stretch, feeling it on the whole back side of my left leg. Nice stretch here after all those leg raises. Again, when we're sitting nice and tall, engage that core, really feeling our core engagement here today. Nice stretches, keep it up. And shaking it out. We're gonna go ahead into some calf raises here, but this time we're gonna have our heels touching and our toes are gonna be apart. So there'll be a gap between our legs here. And as my heels are touching, toes are twisted out apart, we're gonna go ahead and raise our heels up off the ground and lower them. Doing calf raises here. Sitting nice and tall. I feel a little bit more when my knees are still touching, but if yours kind of open up, that is okay. Getting the outside of our calves when our heels are touching and our knees are still touching. If having your toes separated is too much, go ahead and have your toes also touching and do normal calf raises, bringing our heels up off the ground.
Are our feet like in a V?
Yes, our feet are in a V.
Okay, got it.
If you're wanting to challenge yourself a little bit, go ahead and put some pressure on your knees, pushing down and resisting that lift. Nice job, everybody. Sitting nice and tall, still engaging that core. Don't forget that there. And go ahead and stretch that out. Shaking my legs out, we're gonna go ahead and do inner thigh squeezes. You can do this one of two ways. You can have your knees touching and your feet squished together, and you're just gonna squeeze your knees together, and you'll feel that squeeze on the inside of your thighs. Or you can go ahead and have your fists next to each other in between your thighs, kind of opening up your legs a little bit and squeezing your fists together. So your fists will be touching the whole time, but you're wanting to squeeze your fists if it hurts too much to have your knees squeezing against each other. So doing these at your own pace, either pulses quickly or holding as hard as you can, squeezing and releasing. So again, remember to sit nice and tall, core engaged, just squeezing those inner thighs. Nice work. You'll also feel these in your hips. My hands are resting on my hips currently. I'm just squeezing my knees together. My legs are definitely burning. Make sure that your shoulders are still rested back, no slouching here. Engaging that core, belly button towards your spine. Nice job, and rest. Shaking it out here, we're gonna go ahead into a forward fold. My legs are close together, but they're not too far apart. My legs are still outstretched out in front of me, feet flat on the floor, and I'm gonna go ahead and lower my body into that forward fold, feeling this through the tops of my ankles because my feet are flat, feeling it through the backside of my legs and stretching out my spine. Taking deep breaths here, inhaling through the nose and out through the mouth. Taking a break if you need by taking an inhale, bringing it up into a half fold before going back out and extending into that deep forward fold. Nice job, everybody. Sitting nice and tall. That was a nice little stretch for us before we go into our hands on thigh push-ups. So keeping our feet flat on the floor, knees are bent. We're gonna bring our hands resting on top of our knees or our thighs, bringing our chest forward. We're gonna go kind of flat, bringing our chest towards our knees, and we're gonna push up with our arms. Again, still engaging our core, bringing ourselves as low as we can and pushing up with our arms. You'll feel these in your triceps. Try to keep your elbows locked in towards your hips or your side, pinched in at your sides, really focusing on just bending your chest forward and pushing back, or hands can be out wide, focusing more on the actual push-up. Leaning forward, pushing up with our arms. Nice work, everybody. Still keeping that core engaged. Don't forget about her. Taking breaks as we need. Keep your back flat as we're doing this. No arches in our spine. Nice job, everybody. Couple more here. We can all do 5 together. Down and up. Nice job. Down, up. 3 more. 2. And last one. Nice job, everybody. Shaking our arms out. I'm gonna go ahead and get a sip of water before we go into our next flow. Starting with oblique twists. Kind of like our core twists earlier, we're just gonna go ahead and take again these nice and slow. So bringing our hands either out to a T position, fingers outstretched in a at shoulder height, or holding our elbows and forearms out in front of us, keeping our elbows up again at chest height. We are going to twist left and right, keeping our body nice and tall, only bending our trunk here, keeping our legs faced forward. Take these nice and slow, really engage that core, feeling that stretch on the opposite side. When you're going to the left, you can feel the right side of your core engaging as we're pulling it back. Twisting left and right. Nice and slow here. These definitely burn more the second time. Couple more here. Left and right. And shaking it out. Bringing it into a wood chop. We're gonna go right to left to start. We're gonna hold either our hands together or our hands are just gonna be facing each other. Bringing our hands up from the right, bring them down to the left. So my arms are outstretched as far as they can go, and then I'm bringing them up to the right as far as I can across. My left arm is across my body, my right is just outside of my body, bringing it down and across, bringing my hands down to my left hip. So up as high as I can outside of the right shoulder, down to the left hip. So making nice wood chops here, like we're chopping some wood to the left, bringing our hands up high to the right, down to the left hip. Right shoulder, left hip, over and over, really feeling that stretch here. This song really wanted us to speed it up, I guess. So taking these at your own pace. Kind of getting your body involved with a nice little twist. Bring your shoulders down as you are going to the left. Nice job, everybody. Keeping it up here. I know we can go a little bit longer, so why don't we? Nice job, everybody. And shaking it out. Now we're gonna go left to right, bringing both of our hands up to our outside of our left shoulder and swiping them down to our right hip. Wood chop to the right. Nice job, everybody. Keeping it up here. Getting all of our anger out if we have any with our nice chops here. Couple more. And shaking it out. Nice job, everybody. Going into some side bends. You can do this with your hands down at your sides, or you can well, let's do that. We'll start with our hands down to our sides. So with my hands hanging down at my hips, you can gentle fist or fingertips outstretched towards the floor. We're gonna sink our right shoulder down to the ground. As we sink our right shoulder down to the ground, our left one is gonna go up. But I wanna make sure my spine is tall the whole time. So I don't wanna be hunched over too far to the left. I wanna sit nice and tall. Just bring my shoulder down as far as it goes. Feeling that stretch on the left side of my body. Sitting nice and tall, remaining sitting. Bringing my left shoulder down. It's a nice little pendulum here. And we're gonna take these at our own pace. Going left to right. Engage that core. Feeling that crunch on the sides. Nice work, everybody. Keeping those side bends going. Alrighty, transitioning into side crunches. Our hands are behind our ears, elbows outstretched, bringing our right elbow down to right hip, sitting nice and tall before we bring our left elbow to left hip. If these are too abrasive for you, go ahead and keep doing those side bends. But if you would like to transition on into side crunches, that is also great. Bringing our right elbow to right hip and left elbow to left hip. Nice job, everybody. Keeping that side-to-side motion going. Couple more here. And shaking it out. Bring our hands out in front of us. I'm gonna lock my fingers, bringing them straight out at shoulder height. We're gonna go ahead and make figure eights, or a sideways 8 with our hands. So we're gonna start by bringing our left hand down to the left, swooping up to the top left, across down to the bottom right, up to the top right, and down across to the left. These can be small, these can be large, but we're making these figure 8 nice little swoops across our body, and we're just tracing that figure 8 with our hands and our arms outstretched together. As we're doing this, you'll feel it in your shoulders, but also keeping our core engaged. We want to bring our belly button towards our spine. I know you've heard me say it a million times, but we want to make sure that we're not slouching, engaging our core the whole time. It's incredibly important for balance. We just want to make sure we have good core strength for our day-to-day. Again, as you are getting tired, make sure to shake your arms out as you need. Nice work, everybody. I'm gonna actually shake my arms out right now before I go the opposite direction, working my brain a little bit today. Starting by going to the right and then changing my pattern of right to left. I know it's kind of an infinity loop, so I'm doing the same thing, but by telling my brain I'm going the other way, I feel like I'm working harder. Nice job, everybody. A couple more here. And shaking it out. Bringing our we're gonna go ahead and do high knee core twists. So again, bring our hands behind our ears, making sure now we're not pulling on our head at all. We're gonna bring our right elbow to our left knee. As we're bringing our elbow down and towards our knee, we're gonna lift our knee up off the ground into a high knee, kind of meeting in the middle here. So we're crunching across our body. Right elbow to left knee, left elbow to right knee. We're gonna do these side crunch or crossbody crunches or high knee core twists. Crossbody crunches, we'll call them. If crossing across your body is again too abrasive, go ahead and do the cord or the side core twists with high knees, and you'll kind of get that same motion. Or the same workout. Nice work, everybody. Keeping them up here. Again, keep that core nice and tight. Couple more here, keeping it up. Taking breaks as you need. And in 3, 2, 1, we rest. Shaking our arms out, bringing it back into our lower legs. We're gonna do those alternating single leg raises before we do them with holds. So again, just bringing our right leg up as high as we can, keeping our legs straight. We're gonna alternate here, so left leg goes up, straight as high as we can, and right leg goes up, stopping at hip height, alternating here. Nice work, everybody. We'll do a little progression here.
Annalise, are we pointing our toes or flexing our feet?
You can flex your feet or point your toes, whatever feels best for you. I am flexing my feet, keeping my toes up towards the ceiling.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, as we're doing this, we're gonna go ahead and lift our leg 1 inch from the ground, and we're gonna hold it. And we're gonna alternate. So hold it for a few seconds, release. Now I'm gonna lift my left leg off the ground about 1 inch, keeping my toe flexed up towards the ceiling, and hold it for a few seconds before releasing. Bring my right leg slightly off the floor, holding it 1 inch off the floor for a couple of seconds. We're gonna alternate at our own pace. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can go a little bit higher than 1 inch and try to hold it at your leg lift height. Just make sure not to strain the back of your knee at all, so keeping a slight bend in that knee when you're doing that. Again, remember to engage that core. I'm holding onto the sides of my chair for extra support and balance. If you would like to, also do the same. Couple more here. And then to end it all, we're gonna go ahead and do the, bring both of our legs up together at the same time. Again, just for a couple for our last part of this progression. Again, if doing both of them at the same time is too difficult or is hurting your body in any way, go ahead and do them single leg. Nice work, everybody. Keeping it up here. Last thing we gotta do before we cool down. Couple more here. You got it. We're in it together. 3, 2, and 1. Shaking it out here, go ahead and get a sip of water if you need before we go into our cool down. I'll bring us to some cool down music so it's not going crazy on us. That's a lot better. Getting a sip of water here. I'm gonna go ahead and catch my breath, sitting nice and tall, bringing my feet flat on the floor, wherever that may be on your chair. We're gonna go ahead and do seated cat-cows again, bringing my feet a little bit at shoulder width, hands on my knees, bringing on the inhale my spine towards the chair, arching my back a little bit, shoulders are forward. On my exhale, pushing my chest through my shoulders, belly goes forward, keeping our hands on our knees the whole time, taking a deep breath in, spine goes back, exhale, chest goes through our shoulders, belly goes forward into a cow. Couple more here, but do them at your own pace. Really feeling that stretch through our back. Holding at any point that feels good for you. Sitting nice and tall, we're going to bring our right hand up overhead, bending to our left. Left shoulder is dropping, left ear is going towards left shoulder. My hand goes to the left. Feeling that stretch all the way from my right pinky down to my right hip, maybe even our toes if we're lucky. Feeling that through our side is the most important part. Again, sitting nice and tall, bring my left hand up overhead to the right, stretching out the left side of my body. You can do these alternately at your own pace. Just making sure to sink deep into that stretch. Really feel that stretch through your sides. Making sure to do a couple on each side, really feeling that stretch. It's good to stretch out the outside of our core after we've worked it. Slowly regaining our breath back, lowering our heart rate, getting ready for whatever our day has ahead of us. Couple more. And last one. Sitting nice and tall, we're going to go ahead and do our next stretch, bringing our right ear to our right shoulder. Again, I'm gently using my hand to guide my head to the right, feeling that stretch through the whole left side of my neck. Stretching out the left side of my neck, just bringing my head down towards my ear, and then again, bringing my left ear to left shoulder, stretching out the right side. Making sure not to go too far, we just want to make sure that we're doing the stretch. And alternating at your own pace here. Bringing our feet out in front of us, we're going to go ahead and do a seated forward fold, bringing our feet close together, taking a nice deep breath, and exhaling forward, bringing our hands down as close as we can to our ankles. My feet are flat on the floor so I can feel that stretch on the top of my ankles and the backs of my legs. Just holding here. On your next inhale, go ahead and sit up, widen your legs a little bit wider than your chair, and go ahead and go back into that forward fold, now with our legs wide. Maybe we're sinking deeper, maybe our hands are reaching towards the floor this time instead of our ankles. Feeling that stretch to the backside of our leg, maybe in our spine. Just taking nice deep breaths through it. And it's sitting nice and tall, finding a position that's comfortable, or doing another stretch that is also comfortable for you. We're just gonna take some deep breaths here. Really just finishing getting our heart rates as back to normal as we can. Taking deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Make sure you're taking this time to assess how your body is feeling. If there is anything that's lingering that you need to stretch out, make sure you don't listen to your body here. Couple more breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording as you guys are finishing your stretches.